Alright, okay. For those on the VOD, bear with us a sec. You know the drill at this point. Do the pings, post it everywhere. You know how it is. Okay. That should have woken a bunch of people up. So, hello everybody. Today, we are doing a very special stream for RTBR. It's not your usual game night stream. In fact, today, what we are doing is taking the emphasis a little bit away from RTBR and instead putting it on creators who have made content for RTBR in the form of maps, in the form of reskins, in the form of weapon replacements. We are covering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mods in total, which includes 4 custom map/map packs, textures, weapon remodels, as I just said. Going down the list then, I will introduce my co-hosts from RTBR for today. That's Amicus.
Hi, I'm Amicus. I'm a voice actor for Grigori on this wonderful project.
And RZDat.
I'm RZDat, texture artist and level designer.
Other RTBR developers may or may not drop in throughout this stream, and I have told them not to wreak havoc if they do. So, we'll see. Now, going to the community content creators who we have today, we have Cassie, creator of the M727 replacement for the AKM, and the HKSMG2 replacement for the SMG.
Hi. Very excited to be here.
Alright, next then we have Dan's Cart, creator of the blue episode 1 cut content shotgunner inspired reskin.
Hello.
Alright, next then we have Dimitron, who I think Zombie Town was his map.
Yes, Zombie Town is my map, and I have some other maps in the works as well that I'm planning on maybe talking about when we're on Zombie Town. So yeah.
Cool. And then we have Eeny Meeny, who created Otis's Wasteland journey.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I created those maps. Basically, there isn't much about them, but later on I will attempt to make more maps to it. Approximately 5 more map.
Alright, and the last person who we have here today with us is Shockwave, who created the Retail Metro Cop reskins.
Hello there.
Okay. People who aren't with us today, that's Weapons Check, which was by... I'm going to need to pull up the add-on section. Bear me a sec. We have a couple of people whose add-ons we are showcasing who are not here in the voice chat with us today, but hopefully you'll catch the stream. And we'll still be reacting in real time to, I'm sure, some very interesting stuff. Okay, Weapons Check was by Astro. I believe it was actually the first map uploaded here, besides the background map competition entrance. Then we also have Target Range, which is a all-in-one, well, target range by Moostar. And then the other add-on we're showcasing from someone not present here today is Zweet's Hound Eye. Zweet, who knows? Only he does. Replacement for the Hound Eyes. Okay. Without further ado, we're going to be playing the maps in alphabetical order. That's the order in which they appear in the console. I mean, today we are starting with Otis's Wasteland Journey, I think, and Factory 01 by Eeny Meeny.
Let's go.
For those in the voice chat, you should be able to watch my stream without having to follow along on the actual YouTube app.
Yep. Both of the maps are installed, right?
Yes.
All right. Everything should be fine. And only I'm going to talk, or others will.
Okay. Sure. I mean, I can prompt you about things, or you can just talk about the map as I go through it.
I mean, yeah. So basically, I mean, you can question me if you want. Well, oh, so this is the hallway. So basically, this is the room of Otis. Yeah, I wanted. I don't know. I just wanted to create a little room with some stuff, and that hand I was added lately to the development of the map because I found this place a bit empty. Can also pick those up.
Some day
Yeah,
one
we-
suit batteries. Very nice.
Yep. Yep. So
Damn.
I like.
He's not gonna make it.
Not really. So here I made a little puzzle here, which isn't too complicated, but I found it quite creative. That guy said some stuff about you need a battery to open this door, and for that you need to, well, maybe I would leave it to you to find it out.
Sure. Yeah. I'm
I
playing
don't
this my
know.
first time, obviously. So
Oh,
just
hello
let
there.
me take a look and see how we get along.
Game Boy just joined.
Hey, Game Boy.
Hey there, I'm only going to be here for a short while, but just here to see what everyone made.
Sure thing.
Whoops, that's gonna make.
Oh, that's that.
Yep.
It's interesting. That is an interesting mechanic. I actually just came off of judging all of the Lambda builds stuff, and someone did something like that in one of their maps, which was interesting as
This
well.
also was inspired by one of the devlogs update where there was a mention about the cremator fire can be ignited, and yeah, so I made something similar to that.
Interesting.
So here's where you can get your first equipment and stuff. The HEV suit and also the stun stick,
All right.
which will be useful for minis like these.
Oh man, after playing a whole bunch of Half-Life 2 maps, I forgot how big our flashlight is. Alright, well, this looks like the thing I need. There's a handy RTBR logo next to it.
I'll also put a flashlight there so it's pointed out a bit more, so it's more obvious that you need that.
And an Alex gun. See,
Yep.
I appreciate right away the use of the Alex gun, because obviously these are weapons that we gave full functions and stuff, but you only get them for a short while in the main campaign. So I like seeing people use them more in the in their own maps.
Yep. Interesting thing with the Alex gun that it doesn't really have a proper. Oh, and here's the weapon.
This is Cassie's SMG. So once I've finished murdering these guys, we'll get Cassie to talk about them as well. All right.
I think it would be a good time for her to talk about this in this room. So
Absolutely.
because, so yeah.
Take it away,
Oh, hello
Cassie.
there.
Sure. Yeah. So yeah. I got the idea for this. Actually, not long after first playing the game. I figured, an H&K prototype kind of sort of fits the vibe of like a, I guess, or you could say a game based on the prototype version of Half-Life 2. You could say. Kind of, I don't know. That's the weird association I made anyway. Yeah, and I thought it'd been a while since I've actually released anything, so there it is.
Nice.
Well,
You did.
we soon
Nice
see it.
animation.
Well, thank you.
Great
Alright.
animations, though, and it looks really good.
Yeah, I really like it as well, and I as I say, I actually really like the more kind of obscure weapons being brought to life and stuff. I've always said if I ever made a Half-Life 1 alpha mod, the MPL would be the SMG, because it was in like one render ever, and I'm like, yeah, it has to be the MPL.
Very nice.
I want to restore these old, ones a bit more.
Yeah.
There's the blue shotgunners, I think.
Yep. So let's try not to get our ass handed to us, and then
Well, they pretty much got you. Oh,
talk about it. No, it's fine. Dan Scott.
I hope the map is well balanced because I actually didn't have very. Oh,
It's alright. Let's hang on a minute. Let me kill these guys. And then, let's shotgunners. Oh shit. Nah, that's fine. Go on, Dan Scott.
So the idea for the bull shotgunner started when I watched the old update for the racing bar Redux, and you correctly said that there was an idea that the shotgun was going to have a bull skin, and I decided why not to add a bull skin as an add-on, and that's how I started doing it.
Yeah, interesting. The blue skin is, of course, based off of that old Skullbreaker concept for the shotgun. Has seen a lot of early episode 1 promotional art, and we did experiment with a blue look, and we couldn't get it looking right. I think this is a pretty good idea of it. The other thing we were trying to do, which is partly why the blue wasn't really working, was we were trying to get the green undersuit as well from the Skullbreakers. And it just wasn't fitting so well, so we decided, okay, well, let's go with dark colors and the dark green undersuit. And so the dark green undersuit remained, but the blue was lost. But there you go, there's the blue as well right there.
Actually, if you go near the generator, you can see a mountain-like area with the depot-like rail or something, or near up there. But
Right here?
behind you, there is that mountain tree area. Never mind. I added a little 3D skybox, which is hard to spot, but if you at the right angle, you can see that.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Fair enough.
Basically, the whole place is an oil tower that got, in the 7-hour war got destroyed, and it got drained down here and in the ocean, and the rebels used it as a base, but the Combine just raided this whole place. That was the main idea. Some minor Zen faunas, Zen tubes.
Good, good. I'm glad you implemented the idle sound as well. That's cool.
Yeah, I found it. There is an idle sound.
Yep. Daddy saw actually it's something interesting that mappers who are making maps might find for RTBR. Teddy Saw is obviously working on a kind of a retail but RTBR kind of conversion thing at the moment. But for that, he was struggling a bit with some of our details because we don't open source the VMFs at this time. Once we open source the Division 2 code, we are also planning to release the VMFs as they were at the time. The Division 1 and 2 VMFs as they were at the time of Division 2. Basically look right in there and find details. So it's good that you implemented this as is, but for example, if our VMS were open, you would have just been able to copy a thing in here and do that. I think it might be useful because we do some pretty creative stuff, I think, in our maps, and people might find it useful to learn as well.
For the Zen lights, it's definitely going to be useful if I don't know if they would ever became an NPC or something, because I know they're made out of dynamic props, and I'm not really generally good with those.
Yep.
I also spotted that some stuff that wasn't really in use in Division 2, but they actually are already in, so like these red poison-like head crabs.
Yeah, it's we plan to implement RNG systems at some point so that the each of the headcrab variant skins will show up, but there's just some stuff that gets in the way, and sometimes you have an idea and it doesn't quite go through until you're like, oh crap, we're releasing Div 2 in 2 weeks. Right, okay, no time to spend the RNG now. So
yeah,
stuff like that is still.
And I like this grave for a lot because we're going to see why.
Oh, hello. Antlions. Of course, we include the antlion models in Div 2 for the dead ones you see in Minetown. So yeah, actual antlions is doable in here. None of the other antlion replacements are currently currently available, I think, in the files. But
yeah, that's why I'm going to wait. Yeah, that's why I'm going to wait with stuff.
But yeah, I'm glad to see antlions in use as well. Apparently, I'm a bit quiet. Sorry, 1 second. Let me see if there's a way for me to turn myself up.
Shotgun, huh?
Well, okay. sort him out first before I start tinkering with my settings. Yeah, one sec. I've been told I'm a bit quiet in OBS. Don't know why, because it's all my settings are the same in Windows. But I guess I'll just take a look at this. No, manage device properties. Set that up to 100, I suppose, and then I'll also turn up the knob on my microphone. And hopefully that's a bit better. Hopefully it's also not too loud for everybody else. But let's go with this for now. Okay. By the way, in regards to Q&A questions, I'll take them between maps. We won't take them whilst we're playing people's maps, because out of respect for them, I want the emphasis to be on the people's content in the map at that time.
Right.
So we'll take Q&A after we complete these Otis maps, and then we'll do it.
All right.
I like the verticality in this engagement here, about having to go up and there's guys up and around and stuff.
Oh, the second map will definitely going to have some verticality in it.
Yeah. And I also appreciate the I appreciate the general design and such as well. Obviously the details are a little lower than what we tend to do in our maps, but I think it's a really good still for like indicating the idea. This is definitely something you could work off of and build more detail into these areas and make these maps more interesting. And it's cool to see. It's cool to see what other people think our Wasteland will look like as well, or like an idea of what they think the Wasteland should look like. We already have a pretty solid idea because we have
something similar to this, if I'm right?
A little bit, but we're doing something a bit different as well. Our Wastelands are kind of more open and less kind of closed in like this. They're much more open.
Well, I want to make more open maps, but for these maps, specifically these two maps, I think a more closed up one is required, and also they're closed up because I generally don't know how to make them a bit open, but I will try to experiment with more open-like areas.
I mean, see, here's the thing, right? I'm not criticizing at all because yours are closed. Ultimately, the interest in here for me is seeing what do other people think an RTBR map could look like, right? I think that's interesting because we know, because we make them. But I think it's also interesting to just see this is what you think the Wasteland could look like, and I think that's an interesting idea.
But I definitely want to make a more open Wasteland map.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that would be easier as well once you've got a custom Jeep, because people have a custom Jeep in Division 3, obviously.
I think it will be on foot.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I guess it doesn't make sense for there to be multiple Jeeps.
And here are some elite guys with some ICWs.
Interesting. Are there other view model files in the game or not?
Yeah, actually the NPCs can easily utilize the everything else. The elites are completely functional.
Oh, I know they're completely functional, but what I'm saying is, I thought we took out the view model files.
Nope, they're in.
No, as in the stuff for when the player holds it.
Actually, I mean, you cannot access the ICW in this, so I made them that they cannot drop the ICWs.
I see, okay, fair enough. Yeah, so I think we took out the view model stuff. Obviously, there are NPCs who use them in Division 1 for detailing purposes. The soldiers in the City March use them, for example, so we still had to leave in some of the files for them. But yeah, no, I mean, as I say, good creative use of stuff that's currently available. Here we go, I assume this is where it transitions into Facility 02.
Well, actually, this transition wasn't supposed to be like that, but because I didn't count the angle of the map, I had to resolve into another way.
Sure, no worries. Cassie, I just had a quick question because this is not your fault because we don't document this anywhere. Did you look into how we did reload and draw frames at all, or is that just something that didn't come across?
I just did what I usually do was like I have a formula for calculating like since I like to keep the same frame rate. so everything's 30 FPS across the board here. And I just, I copied the existing, I calculated that based on the existing animations. I try and match them best I can.
Yeah, I mean in terms of I don't know if you caught this. This was July last year, I think we put out this update. But we actually have a feature where, like CS:GO, the magazine is full before the reload animation completes, and you can set this on a per frame basis. So you can basically decide at like frame 40 of the animation, for example, like for example, right here the magazine size would change to 30, and then a player could quick swap, and they have the weapon ready. But then we also have draw frames, which are so when you're drawing the weapon, you could have it say ready to fire here before you click, so that you can fire right away. But we don't document this anywhere. It's in our view model files, but we don't document them. So I'm not
interesting.
I'm not at all pointing out you didn't use them as a criticism, because we don't document them. But we were thinking of documenting these features in a tutorial on the ModDB page. So when we do that, you might find it interesting to go back and decide whether it's worth sticking it on your SMG and the AKM replacement as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely be using it in the future.
Yeah, it's a feature we implemented because Silent, our animator, does some really great and really detailed animations. I like these kind of fences. These are interesting. Anyway, sorry, he does these really great and detailed animations, and obviously we don't want to necessarily make them super short, snappy animations, because he really likes lavishing on the detail. But we did find that people kind of were sometimes getting stuck out a little bit. It's cool to watch the full animation if you're not at risk of being imminently killed. It is not cool to watch the full animation if you are sure the gun should be ready to fire and you're about to get killed by a combine. So we implemented the reload and the draw frames so that if people wanted, they can still watch the full thing and have all the detail. But if they also want to min-max, which they can do, then that's another thing that they can do. We implement gameplay features that raise the skill ceiling, because a casual player doesn't need to quick switch in and out, you know, because we still designed the gameplay to be fun enough without that being a thing you have to do. But a more skilled player can learn these things, can learn to burst fire the AKM, you know. Anyway, sorry, Inamini, I think you were going to talk about these railings.
Well, actually, when I made these stairs, I didn't really count that later on we'll have to put some rails here. So I tried some props or the texture-like brushwork, but none of them were because the stairs weren't optimized for them. So I just made brushwork. I think they're pretty neat.
Yeah, are these stairs clipped off? It looks like they are. As in, like, do you have, like, a player clip slope, or... Oh, no, they're not. I was just walking fast enough. Oh, no, fair enough. On our stairs, we clip off them with a player clip, usually, so that there's, you see this jumpiness as you go up the stairs. If you
I'm aware of that. I didn't put those, but...
No, sorry, it's just something I'm just kind of giving some ideas as we go along as well. This is a feature we use in RTBR a little bit. We're not everywhere, it's not consistent everywhere, because it just kind of, it basically relies on a tester remembering to say, hey, this stairway doesn't have this, and then we go and we implement it. It's pretty simple. You basically just create stuff out of you. You basically create a slope with a player clip texture. You start it at the base of the stairs going up to the meeting point of the top stair here, and then the player just kind of goes up smoothly without it jumping. It's just they do this in CS:GO as well, I think.
I think they do this in kind of every single mod. About this thing, when Division 2 didn't came out, I had a dream about this.
Nice.
I think about it, about this wooden structure being there. So yeah.
The Otis must help open the door. Alrighty.
Polygon voice lines, which I might going to give these characters some voice acting. Maybe ask some people if they can do that.
It would be interesting to get some folks from the community who might be interested in doing some stuff. Obviously, we have our own priorities for voice acting wise on RTBR, and so not everyone who wants to voice act or wants to do stuff is going to be able to join the mod, but stuff like this, maps like this, are a good way for people still to flex their skills. Enjoy.
Oh, this place, yeah. So this map had some cremators in it, but I had to get rid of them because the mod always crashed when I when I killed one. So basically, this fire is here because of one of the cremators. There was supposed to be a cremator in this hall, which I'm kind of happy that I removed him because this place was not really a good area for him.
Sure. As I say, we're working on improving the cremator's topology in the coming weeks. We'll probably then hotfix it into Div 2 so that people can download it and use that model for their maps without it crashing the game. Oh, hey! Crap!
These soldiers have a really high damage. The OSCW has generally high.
Yeah, it's not. We haven't fully tested the OSCW stats and stuff in gameplay yet. So yeah, they do 7 damage a shot at the moment, which might be a bit much in the end.
I don't think so. I think this makes these guys like a legit threat. Yeah, these are some buffies. I mean, they're really good. I like them.
Oh, there's a cremator. Right, I'll say
What the hell?
in the middle.
Didn't update in my latest version.
I may not have done. I might be just using the version I downloaded off of ModDB, so...
Which? You downloaded now or before?
5 or 6 days ago, probably.
Ah, so that's why it's... I added some balancing stuff, but it
Well,
pretty good.
let's cross our fingers that it doesn't crash, which will be our fault if it does, so no worries if so.
I hope it won't. But yeah, I guess... Yeah, if you just kill him here, because at this area he won't crash.
Alrighty. Some health.
There was actually, I think, orange box of maybe one of the card boxes, or I don't know, the Half-Life 1 card boxes there. But,
Which one?
the second. Well, not really, but you know, it's never mind. It's just a little set piece. Because of the grenades, it's there.
Oh, over here, the isotopes. I see. Yeah, the isotope boxes. I hear a fella over there somewhere.
Well, yeah, this room has its little own history to it, or somewhat. I mean, not a history, but rather a little thing. So, oh, somebody did go. I mean, never mind. Yep. I will explain everything when, when the whole sequence played out.
Okay. That's a good addition of a Gnome, I think.
Was
that a boss Gnome or was that a normal Gnome? I know
a normal Gnome.
I see, because we have a setting to turn Gnomes into boss Gnomes as well.
Oh.
Which
maybe I will.
Yeah, I think.
No,
I think it's on the in the entity's key values, or maybe in the flags, and it basically means that instead of 350 health, it has 600. The first Gnome you fight in Quarry Town 02 has the boss flag turned on.
Maybe I will leave with this one because I like this one. This one supposes to be an Entropy 02 like reference. I mean, the whole thing about that. The rebels basically kept this Gnome here as a security system, and it got loose. And the guy who had the stun tick was, one of the people who got killed above. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, so you can repeat this.
Seems like
all right.
But alright, fair enough.
A little bug that I never saw. Never mind.
Okay. They open up something out here. Yes, I see. Oh, some Manhattan.
This place is going to have, I think, the second cremator I don't know, maybe a second cremator encounter when they will be fixed.
Oh,
They
Game Boy,
work
your
really
poster
well.
as well. Is Game Boy still here, or did he?
I think he left. This poster was supposed to be an Easter egg when Division 2 1.2 was, or 2.1 wasn't a thing, so yeah, I wanted to include this one here.
No, fair enough. Game Boy made it, and we didn't get around to implementing it yet. But in Division 2.1, we stuck it in a couple of Division 1 maps.
Oh, because you press the button that double the amount of shotgunners.
Oh, I see. I thought I was
Yeah,
about to
that-
say that's the beat you to death squad right there, with 4 shotgunners around the corner. Oh, hello. Got a friendly.
There's also super weapon around this room.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is an interesting poster that we made. I actually made this one for Division 1.2 because Game Boy had already made some great new posters for Division 1.2, like this one, with the joining the civil protection. And I thought it'd be fun if we had like a unique like graffiti variant. Now we're only supposed to be using it once, and I think we only currently use it once. But it's interesting to see it around still more.
Also, 2 other members have joined to the stream.
Who else do we have in here? Oh, we have Crazy Dav, that's one of our moderators, and Val, who is deafened.
Yep.
Oh, and Astro. Astro is here. Astro, nice. We'll be playing Weapons Check last, I think. That's the last map on our docket, alphabetically.
Alright.
So, just to introduce him then, seeing as he's here. Astro is, well, the creator of Weapons Check.
Yep.
Cool. If you want to introduce yourself, Astro, you're welcome.
Oh, okay. I'm Astro. I've been mapping for about 3 years now, so
Nice.
not much else to say.
Fair enough. Sorry, what did this vault say? What am I meant to do at this point? I was talking about the poster and I didn't read what he said.
Well, nothing really. He just, the AI of him was speaking to another NPC.
I see.
There's also a secret weapon around this hall.
What a secret weapon. Interesting.
Yep. I mean, I'm not saying it's a well-hidden weapon like what was in Division 1.2, but I think I made a pretty good job by hiding it. Unless
Me looking for the flare gun.
Uh-huh. Checking every corner of every map. Ah, I bet I know where it is. Very good use of that, I will say. That's good use of the combine box with the lid.
Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna bring this vault somewhere, I suppose.
You have to bring him back where was that yellow generator stuff, like
Oh, I see.
down there with the big order. I gave the warding out regenerating house so he cannot be killed.
Nice. That's a good little feature. Alright, come on, mate.
I'm gonna make a map where it's just a box and there's 20 cremators. Have fun.
Oh yeah.
About this room, alright. By the way, I don't know what. I mean, I kind of know why is that dropkick flying backward. It's a bit of an awkward thing. Also, this is my this place, this fight. Yeah, I kind of can't talk a lot about this sequence where the Strider comes in.
He's trying to get away too, yeah, both of us. Oh, I get shot by this guy. Oh. Gonna take a shot at me? Whoa! Okay. I guess we're moving now. I don't know if that's damaging him or not.
That's damaging him, definitely.
Whoa.
Yeah, about this area. I actually used I maybe might actually going to use another version, maybe a remix version of this song, because I remember finding a channel that makes a lot of Half-Life 2 remixes and also Portal 1 and other remixes.
Yeah.
There is the half pack on the box, and I don't know. I might have to. I don't know, maybe ask for permission if I can use it. Yeah. So, yeah, I pretty much when I listened to that remix of Clawyard, I always had a picture of a spider chasing you down in a huge areas like this. Also, there's that car like thingy on the floor. I don't know. It's oh no, it's broken.
Oh, I see. That's an old Easter egg. That is now.
Team Fortress.
Team Fortress O's. Oh, it was a friendly. Hey, come on, let's see it.
And it's an interesting thing. It was a half-back under the stairs or something like that. And this is the final battle where you have to kill the spider. I also added some destructible colors. I think a good addition.
Cool, so I'm supposed to kill this guy with the grenades, right?
Yep. I found a way that you actually is cooking it useful to kill striders, so yeah.
Alright. Need some more grenade ammo now.
There is grenade ammo inside of that house.
Oh, right.
Back.
I forgot that that's what our ammo crate model looks like. Because I've also playing a bunch of HL2 maps lately. I think it's a pretty creative way to have a Strider fight, considering we have no other explosive weapons in the mod right now that people can access.
I mean, technically, the flare gun could be utilized against him, but I think the grenade cooking is a way better, way much more fun, and yeah, it somewhat feels like if you're exploiting the game and it's actually rewarding and the game is actually rewarding you from exploiting it.
All right.
I suggest to quick save or anything. Oh, you got him.
Alright. Okay. Noticing this notice has been noticed.
Yeah, there is that little window. If you look out, you can see a little scripted sequence there.
Nice.
You open it again.
Oh! Hello.
We could be of use to you.
Alright then, Vordy bro.
Our cause seems hopeless.
Seem hopeless.
No, Vortigan, get out of there! Alright. Gonna blow this up, I think.
Where to now?
And to what end?
It's,
I heard too much wording on voice lines.
What?
That something's happened.
Oops!
Oops.
Whoopsie
Which game can we
daisy!
play?
Alright, it's fine. It's fine. Let's be more careful this time, so as to not blow myself to hell. No, no, be careful. Oh, careful, careful. Okay.
Get away from the explosives.
Nice.
And this is the end line, and this is where the end line case will begin.
Nice. And that's that for now. Well, thank you very much for that one, Inimini. That was a pleasant little playthrough there. Some nice things of use of the Alex gun, a nice little revolver Easter egg. Yeah, I really enjoyed that overall thing. Maybe some refinements here and there, obviously, but I think it's a very great start, and I look forward to seeing more from you on that one.
Alright.
Alright. I'm gonna go get a Coke can because my throat is dry, and then we're gonna do some Q&A, and then we're going to start the second one, which is Zombie Town. So that's Dimitron's when we're back. But first, a Q&A. So, can someone on my good development team of people who I know, can one of you guys take a look at the chat, scroll up, find some questions? I don't know if anyone here has been keeping track already. I'll be back in like 1 minute. So just find some questions for me, and then we'll answer a few before we get going again.
Sure, I'll grab some.
Thanks.
I'll grab some too.
I'll grab Amicus. I'll make sure he can actually talk.
Hello.
Oh, Val, when did you get here?
I've been here from the start.
Good to see you.
Did he mean... I assume he meant we're not answering them, we're just grabbing some, right?
I guess we need to grab them, yeah. That's what he said.
Somebody in the chat said, hello everybody, my name is Entity.
And in this video, we're going to talk about raising the bar Redux.
All about raising the bar Redux. I think there's a question directed to you, something about, can you explain what the Combine are doing in the Wasteland narratively? I think that was directed to your map. It says it seems to be a place they would avoid or ignore.
Well, basically, this is a rebel outpost which Otis lived in, and this somewhere takes part of when you get the scout car in Division 3. I mean, you will get the scout car. This is somewhere like that. And yeah, so the Combine discovered this rebel outpost and they just raided it. I mean, they don't want pesky rebels inside of the Wasteland.
Yeah, well, I mean, fair enough. I mean, obviously, in the beta as well, the Combine had presence in the Wasteland. It was like a complete wasteland with just Zen creatures and all that. It also had Combine presence, especially the depot, the air exchange, etc., etc.
Yep.
Find a good one, Amicus? Oh, there we go.
I'm back. What's up? Cool. Shoot. Let's have some.
I'm not going to do these in any particular order, just ones that I'm finding. This one is for RTBR in general. Do you want RTBR questions or just like relevant questions to what's being played?
General RTBR questions is fine. We'll do a few and then we'll move on to the next map.
Okay.
Also, damn, 40
one
viewers.
of them...
That's more than I was expecting. That's pretty nice. Sorry, go on.
says in beta content, stalkers were designed as enemies to fight. Will this be an RTBR?
Yep, you'll fight stalkers in RTBR. We haven't specifically locked down these ideas yet, but we roughly have the idea of creating a delineation between kind of worker stalkers and combat stalkers. And worker stalkers will be more passive, and they'll be like the stalkers you see in Half-Life 2. Combat stalkers will be more like the beta ones. They'll be more nimble and agile, and they will be combat oriented. This is just an idea we have right now. We haven't fully implemented these. This is more like Div 4 stuff. I don't really think we've got a lot of plans for Div 3 with stalkers. Probably Div 4 mostly for the ARX. But we have, we have an idea to basically have our cake and eat it. If not, there'll probably be more like a mix between the two. If we don't do two different types, it'll probably be more like a mix between the two. Of being more combat oriented and maybe some passive ones as well here and there.
Somebody...
What?
Sorry, go ahead.
I want to ask a question that will Division 3 include maybe the hunters or the alien assassins? Because I do have an idea to include one of those or some of them inside of my maps.
Hunters, yes. Alien assassin, no.
Alright, so when the alien assassin will be included, I tend to put some of them in maybe the 6th and 7th map. I think there could be made an interesting scripted event or something like that. That one of the alien assassins inside of a dark room just drags the body somewhere.
Next question, Amicus.
Here's one. Is the 357 going to be a regular weapon after the mod is done, or is it going to just be an Easter egg every time?
It'll be a regular weapon in Division 4. Most weapons you find as secret weapons in the mod will actually be weapons you get later on. It's just like Serious Sam or something where you're just kind of getting them out of sequence a little bit.
Another one. Will there be an Antlion King boss fight?
We would like to do the Antlion King, but that presents a lot of design challenges, obviously. He's a very big guy. We have very little to work with when it comes to how he was supposed to work. We basically have to come up with everything that's animations, sound, model, concepts in gameplay, etc. So we have had discussions about these things, and we'll see how they go, but we're not committing to anything at this time. Next, Amicus.
Alright.
Let's keep questions to the audience if that's alright, add-on creators, because you guys are getting the stream to talk about your stuff. I think we should be fair and let the audience have some some talk about stuff. Go on, Amicus.
Do you guys have specific content scheduled to show off, or is it more relaxed when you show off stuff randomly? Also, when can we expect to see videos on Div 3?
We have pretty set in stone content schedules, pretty much. We don't really show stuff outside of them except for like special events or occasions. So, yeah. You can expect to see Div 3 content updates this year. In fact, the next content update we do will be a Div 3 oriented content update. So that will be focusing on models and stuff for Div 3.
I think we just did one that has some Div 3 stuff in it.
Yeah, the anniversary update has some initial stuff for Div 3, but as well as that, the next content update we do, I don't know when that will be, probably middle of the year, like June, July, something like that. Will be Div 3 oriented, so you'll see some models, you know, some music, some level stuff. That's, yeah. Let's have one more, Amicus, and then we'll move on.
Sure. Will there be some sort of bonus modes, like an arena mode, where you can fight every enemy in the game with different combinations?
We have considered ways to expand RTBR's gameplay sandbox beyond what takes place in the main mod, but at the moment we have nothing to announce on that front. Okay, so let's get started on the second map here. So that is, I believe, Dimitron's Zombie Town. So this is, as I recall, a remake of, or rather an RTBR-ification plus a bunch of Dimitron's own ideas of the very plain and wide open Zombie Town VMF. Fun fact, when it came to Art Pass in Quarry Town 04, that map was like the last Quarry Town to be fully art passed, and so me and RZ were working double shifts on that, as in he would do some whilst I was at work, then I would do some after work, then I'd give it to him to work on during his night shift at work, and that was how we got Quarry Town 04 done. and we actually sampled in order to kind of like progress a little faster. We actually sampled geometry from that particular Zombie Town VMF, but also some others, and then modified it as well. So there's a few things you might recognize in Quarry Town 04 from that.
I was about to say, I didn't even notice when I was playing through that it was there was some stuff from Zombie Town in there.
Yeah, I think the only thing from Zombie Town is actually the water tower on the left side of the quarry. There's a model water tower in that quarry area, and there's also a brush water tower. And the brush water tower is from Zombie Town. The big kind of digger thing with the arm thing as well. That's from another VMF, and we've just modified it because we don't like to just straight up, copy WC Map Pack VMFs and then just do stuff to them. It's nicer to actually make an original map. But at the same time, some of those older VMFs have some really, really lovely geometry in them. It's really
This one was a challenge to work on because the map that I had to work with was just a very plain like test map for Ravenholm. So trying to like iterate on the design side of things and like the art side of things was very hard. Because I had to figure out and experiment and see what works.
Yep. Sorry, Ozzy, I saw you on mute, mate. Were you going to say something about our Quarry Town 04 time?
No, I let you talk. But what I was going to say, it's a very effective strategy, to work on shift. It's very tedious, but at the same time, very effective.
Yeah, it got the map done pretty quickly from the pair of us doing that way, and because we were pretty in sync with what we wanted the map to look like, it meant that one of us could work on an area, and then the next one could pick up that same area and just keep working on it. And we were able to do that pretty well. So that led to that doing pretty good as well. We'll probably do something like that for Div 3. We'll probably pick a map that makes sense to be worked on in shifts, and probably a challenging map, like one of the Jeep maps. Vehicle maps take bloody ages, so, that's probably going to be a shift map if ever I saw one.
Yeah.
That is something that I actually wanted to say about, you guys talked earlier about the concept of open maps, and the thing is with open maps, it creates a lot of like challenges as well for the player itself. Obviously, it needs to be filled in because open maps can be very empty. And also, let's just say that it could be a little bit tedious as well for the player to like traverse large open spaces, with just sprinting. It could be a little bit tedious, but if done right, open maps can be like one hell of an experience and also a unique experience. So obviously take that in mind.
Yeah, I just realized I'm not added as a moderator on this YouTube. I'm just going to have to add myself there real quick. That's interesting. Right, anyway, okay, so now we're playing Zombie Town by Dimitron. Let's go.
Hey.
Is there an AKM in this one? Is Cassie going to get to talk again in this one, Dimitron?
I think, there is somewhere. There's a lot of secret weapons just scattered about this map, so it's kind of like you don't get weapons in order. That was one thing I had to really challenge myself with the whole open map concept was trying to figure out where weapons would go, because it's not the same as Half-Life where they're kind of sequential and stuff, so.
Okay. Oh, well, there goes the Jeep. Rip the Jeep. I guess we're not doing the Jeep in Division 3, boys. Blame Dimitron. Oh, nice. A flare gun right away.
Oh, yeah. You got one of the secrets. There's a lot of, it's kind of a pick up as you go with the weapon stuff. So it's very... There's also 3 different alternating paths at the beginning. Originally it was kind of just open at the beginning, but I split off the 3 different areas separately so you can choose to go separate paths.
I see you've used the Half-Life 1 oriented skin here. That's good.
Yeah, I use a lot of bull squids in this map because bull squids are cool, and I thought they would fit really well in like a Wasteland.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, a lot of this is just explore and find what you find, so.
overall, I guess like I really like the lighting you did here. Kind of gives
Oh
like
yeah,
more pinkish also flavor to it. It's very nice to watch.
What I tried to do is I tried to make it very similar to when the sun's setting and like everything's all dark out, but it's still got some color to it. So I wanted to add some beauty to like this this desolate field.
I mean, man, I know the map you based this off of pretty well, and you have done a really bang-up job here already. The original map is like so obviously a prototype. There's bugger all to really look at, to be honest. So it's
it's
done a really
essentially
great job
just a Ravenholm test map, the original one. So, yeah.
More flag on ammo, very nice.
Yeah, so if you search about, you can find a lot of secret weapons and stuff like that. There's a little Left 4 Dead reference there.
Nice. Yeah, we have a bunch of Left 4 Dead stuff in RTBR for use in maps, but we don't use it all because
yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting.
I tried to make use of as much of the like stuff as I could because I noticed there's a lot of assets that I can use here. So
yeah. We only really prune spoilery assets from public releases, so there's probably a whole ton of assets we don't use that are visible.
Yeah.
Ah! That's fine.
We gotta watch out. You can actually, some of the buildings here you can go inside of and explore, so try to see what we can explore around here. Some of them obviously are completely closed off, but where you can find ammo and weapons and stuff like that inside.
Alright, well here we have Cassie getting to talk about this. I'm going to kill this guy here, so I don't have to worry about this anymore. And then I'm gonna slightly break the balance, sorry, and use give current ammo, but I'll fire it all away over the course of Cassie talking about this probably anyway. Cassie, take it away.
Alright, yeah, so, a lot for me to cover here. It's sort of, obviously not the most obscure weapon, although it kind of is at the same time. It's sort of a unusual variant of the AR-15, but also the one specifically used by Hazardous Environment Combat Unit in Gearbox's HD pack. It's not... No, it's better known fact these days, but originally that wasn't super well known. And I thought, you know, in universe, it would be a really interesting kind of sort of idea that like rebels found like a shipment of these things, just didn't quite make it through the White Mesa, or actually wherever the Marines were. And just a lot of lore behind it, well, relatively speaking. Also of interest is the person who made this model goes by Aperture Aerospace Defense, and that is also the marking on here, rather than Colt, is what it would normally be. So that's also an interesting little nod to, I assume, Portal. And it's not entirely outside the realm of possibility that like Cave Johnson would own a defense contractor or something, and that they happen to make the assault rifles for the Marines in Half-Life.
Yeah, I think it's worth paying special attention to the fact you also made the empty magazine drops, which I think you did for the SMG as well, and I just didn't notice it in the last map. Because I did notice it in my testing a while back that you'd done it, but I didn't mention it. But that's also really good. Because that's another feature we'll probably write up in documentation, like the draw frames and reload frames. It's cool that you caught them though. Just seemed like a nice little detail, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things.
I always love to see that implemented.
Yeah, it just adds a little bit of extra personality to every single gun that gets it. Yeah. Well, thank you again, Cassie. I think these are two of my favourite, more kind of general purpose mods, because obviously you can put these in any map, in any court of RTBR, right? Because they just kind of fit right in. And I think it's really cool that we've got weapon replacement mods that are unique to RTBR. So that's very cool. So thank you very much for that. And yeah, just an interesting thing. When I played this, when I tested this, it doesn't seem like the fire rate slows down, although maybe that's just me. Did you modify the weapon script?
I did. This is an interesting thing I discovered in testing this. So, initially I didn't know what the cyclic rate of M727 was, because that's the level of detail I like to go to if I can. So the AKM fires at 600 RPM, just like the real AKM. I found on a source that I can't remember that this particular model of gun fires at about 800 RPM, and as you increase the rate of fire, the slowdown becomes harder to notice. Initially I tested this at 900, which is more normal for carbines of this size, and it's you don't notice the slowdown at all. And at 800 it's also a lot harder to see.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I think we've got a lot of settings that used to be code obfuscated, but we've actually deliberately written into the script. This was actually originally designed for us because it's a lot easier to iterate on balance when you can modify something there instead of having to ask a programmer to do it for you. And it does have to be done on a weapon by weapon basis programmatically. So we've typically only done it for weapons that are that are undergoing active balance testing, right? But seeing that you've modified it here makes me think we should put in some time to deobfuscate this and other settings if we can for basically every weapon in the script. I think it would allow people to make really cool weapon replacements like yours, and also would maybe allow you to make more if you wanted to in future and do even more with them than you already have.
I'd love to see that.
So I'll take note of that, and but the magazine drop thing, I'm glad you caught that. It's another thing that's kind of a little bit specific to our weapons that we need to write up in documentation. So Arbab took the time to write up a tutorial on how to set up hammer for RTBR for mappers, so we'll probably take some time as well to write up some documentation on the magazine drop and how to set them up for weapons, as well as the reload frames and draw frames and chum toads. Yes!
Yeah, I added that as a little Easter egg for my friend Mr. Chum Toad.
Very good. I wonder if anyone in here is besides us, obviously, has found the chum toad in Labo 1.
Yeah, I didn't know. But it was a little thing I just added. But that's I think you've pretty much explored all the buildings now, so you can proceed.
Fair enough.
If you feel ready.
By all means.
It's the type of map where it leads straight to something, but you gotta look around a bit. So yeah, doing an open map like this was pretty challenging, because last time I did an open map, it was for a competition, radiation hazard competition a while ago, and it got last place. It was not the greatest map, but yeah, I've tried to learn since then, and I've tried to basically do something similar, but like improve on it. So this is in a way a bit similar to an old map I did.
Yeah, I mean, we all have to start somewhere. I got my start doing mapping competitions like 5 years ago. I entered the very first map labs, and that entry didn't quite get last. I think it got second last. So, I absolutely understand. You know, I mean, these things, they take time. You know, I've been mapping 5 years now, and it's and you know, I've also had the fortune of working with some incredibly talented people on RTBR, like the guy who made Quarry Town Flash, who has been mapping half as long as me and yet picked it up like nothing. He's a real mapping prodigy.
I'd say that's one of the best parts about the mapping and modding community for sources. Like, you meet so many cool people.
All right.
This way.
This way. All right, mate.
This guy's name is Doorman, by the way, in the hammer.
Good.
Because he just opens the door for you. You actually can save him, so he doesn't do anything if you save him. Because that was kind of an accidental bug that I just decided to look at.
Hey, he's led, asshole.
So yeah, you saved him. Nice. It's pretty easy to save him, really, because but yeah, he doesn't have any like script after you save him, so yeah, this I must mention though, this map was essentially just a side project. I have been mainly focused on my EZ2 map, which will actually be, I'm excited to announce it here, we'll be releasing sometime later today. So
very cool. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I have some more maps in the works. I might also do another RTBR map, maybe when there's a new division, perhaps. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah, but it's very interesting. My experience with mapping for RTBR has been very great, and I love all that it provides, and I'd recommend it for anybody who wants to play around a bit with the SDK.
Yeah, I hope RTBR presents an interesting experience even to people who are familiar with Source and all of that, because obviously we have a very different gameplay sandbox, right? You know, we have a lot of extra enemies, extra weapons.
It's great though. We can get very creative with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we already, as of Division 2, have I think we already have more usable weapons, or at least as many usable weapons as Half-Life 2. So, you know, go nuts, right? Okay, so that was Zombie Town by Dimitron. We had from Inimini a more kind of focused linear story of Otis surviving in the Wasteland. From Dimitron, a more open-worldy kind of style of exploring around, finding weapons, that kind of thing. I think both really cool so far, and I really like the open-worldy element to Zombie Town. It's a very good way to interpret that otherwise very plain map.
Yeah, I mean, I tried my best with what little I could work with here, and I think I did pretty all right. But I have, as I said, though, this is kind of just a fun little side project for me. I have other stuff in the works, like I have my mod, Riptide, and I also have the Black Mesa East raid map for EZ2. So I'm working on a bunch of stuff right now.
Yeah, well, that's the best way to be, man. Always busy. That's how I like it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's how I like it as well.
Sure. Okay, so I believe the next map we would be playing then is Target Range. That was by a guy called Moostar, who is not in here, but that's totally fine. Okay, Amicus, let's have some more questions. Why not?
All right. I should probably start grabbing the names of who asked these. We've got somebody asking when OICW is going to be added.
Division 3 is when you'll get the hold of it.
All right. Will Division 3 do anything different for the Antlions compared to retail?
I mean, first of all, RTBR does not believe in not using Episode 2 content just because it's beta. We use Zombine, and we use Zombine in Ravenholm, for example. And so we will be using workers and the grubs in our antlion caves as well, right? Because they're there, why not use them? We will, of course, be using guards and normal antlions over the course of the antlion encounters in Division 3 as well. And then we have begun exploring whether the antlions should be getting a new rank and file enemy besides the guard and the ordinary lions and stuff like that. We haven't fully implemented those ideas yet. These things, they take time, but we have considered whether we could expand the antlion roster. Next.
Did you ever think of releasing the mod on Steam?
When the mod is done, maybe. I think that'd be pretty cool to have released it on Steam when the mod is fully done, but that is something we'll think about in a few years.
Why did you make the OICW unable to fire would have been good for custom maps while we wait for Div 3?
Well, the RCW is not done yet. The functionality is not exactly where we want it. We haven't done balance testing. We haven't fully worked on all this stuff. The thing is that, like, we might have shown weapon models, but that doesn't mean the weapon is done, right? Like, the flare gun functionality is something that we worked on quite a lot before, like, revealing the flare gun and stuff, right? But we had a flare gun model, right, around Division 1.2. So we could have left it in Division 1.2, but what would have been the benefit to mappers then? It would have been the crappy, boring Half-Life 2 flare gun instead of the incendiary grenade launcher flare gun, right? These guns, they aren't really ready for public consumption. And the other thing is that, whilst they might be helpful for custom mappers, I feel like a lot of people would play these work-in-progress versions of our guns and go, I don't like this and that, and I don't see how this will fit and how that will fit and stuff like that. It's like, we don't really want that. We want to be able to portray things when they're ready to the public, then put them in their hands when they're ready. That's why we strip the code and the models out from public releases of these weapons, because they are not ready yet. We are not confident yet that people would enjoy them. We don't know exactly if the balancing is right. So that's how it is for those ones. Let's have another one.
Will any cut Zen wildlife, such as kingpins, be in RTBR?
So the chum toad's snuck its way in already. We might do a little bit, but obviously our priority is Half-Life 2 cut content, right? Like, our priority is going and looking at what critters we can implement from Half-Life 2 and stuff like that. So whilst I really like a lot of Half-Life 1's cut creatures as well, and some of the stuff they cut for Half-Life Alyx whilst you're at it, our priority is Half-Life 2. That does include its episodes, so we are reaching a little bit into the episodes to look at functionality for NPCs, especially for stuff like hunters, and thinking of how can we make hunters more interesting by bringing in some of the original functionality and kind of creating a melding, for example. And there's stuff like that we're looking into. I won't say we won't do it at all, because if we have a gameplay goal we want to hit, and a Half-Life 2 NPC doesn't seem like it would do the trick, but a Half-Life 1 one does, then we might do the Half-Life 1 NPC in that circumstance. But by and large, we're prioritizing Half-Life 2 first. Let's have another one if there's another one, and then we'll go on.
Sure. Will you guys create your own weapons instead of using weapons exclusively in the bod and in the beta and retail?
We're probably not making completely original weapons, as in this has never been seen before anywhere in anything ever. But what we are doing is coming up with very original takes on those weapons. Like, for example, the flare gun just kind of sucked in the beta, right? No one cares about shooting one flare and setting a guy on fire. So that's why we made it an incendiary grenade launcher. And so where our original ideas will come in will be with interpreting how to make a Half-Life 2 or a cut content weapon interesting, right? Like, even with the pistol, we kind of made it a mix between Half-Life 1's pistol, and then we canonized a bug from the early version of Half-Life 2 to make it a more interesting weapon, right? This is our approach to the arsenal. And so in that, you will find original takes on weaponry as a result. And we're also taking liberties with weapon models and that kind of thing, as we do with all of our models, to just kind of do what we think looks right and feels right. But probably not fully original, never-before-seen weapons, at least not in this form, because as Cass has already shown with her add-ons so far, the community can already do some of that if they feel like it. So next then, we have what should probably be quite a simple map, but we'll take a look at it anyway. That being Target Range by Musta. This is, I suppose, meant to be for trying out weapons, shooting against NPCs, so on and so forth. Let's take a look at this.
60%.
All right.
75%. 90%.
There you go. So I guess the OSCW does get taken away. The view model's still in there. Interesting. And all the stuff respawns. So that's pretty nice. I guess. Oh, and there we go. You can spawn. Is this every type of NPC? Yeah, it looks like this is every type of NPC. Head crabs as well. And of course, there's a flare gun on the wall. Ammunition for grenades. Oh, is that still the Half-Life 2 grenade model? Did I not do that? Huh. That's interesting. I thought I'd done that. And slams.
We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
So the existence of slams, I'm just going to point this out real quick. The existence of slams is not because we're doing slams, but because we're on map base. So slams are just included in map base. That doesn't mean that we're doing them. Just to clarify that right now. So I guess this is a handy map for people like Cassie. If she wanted to test out her weapons and shoot some guys. There you go. That's what it's there for. It is actually a pretty good chance to talk about some of these guys and give Shockwave a chance to talk finally. I'm gonna throw on no target, and then no clip into here. All right. Let me disable even. All right, go on, Shockwave.
These are the retail-based metric hops. I think I got access to a simple program that enables me to edit textures. So I decided, why not? Let's make retail metric hops. As well, a little interesting detail about the elite metric hop is I made the white lines on the shoulders a bit more thicker than the regular metric hop to signify the rank a lot more.
Yeah, fair enough.
As well as the retail metric hop, the little radio is now green, just like on the original model. As well, a little tidbit about the whole system with the metric hop eyes going off when they get killed. That isn't on the elite metric hop for some odd reason.
I don't think we implemented it on the elite cop, so that's why that one's not there. But on these guys, yeah. There you go. I noticed you've got the functionality for them there, and he landed.
Oh my god! Look at that ragdoll.
All right. But yeah. All right then. Thanks, Shockwave. So, I think, as I say, pretty quick one for this one. We've got every weapon, plenty of ways to kill, plenty of things. Oh, I see what the point is here. There you go.
It's a big head crab barbecue.
Indeed.
Sorry to chime in again, but I have thought about interesting ways to use the flare gun in a future map. So
yeah, go for it.
Yeah, because it has a lot of functionality that I'd love to explore, and I think I might just do a test map just experimenting with the flare gun. So
yeah, that'd be interesting. Oh, there you go. That's how you can set no target without having to resort to the console. I don't know what these ones do. Doesn't seem they're popping up. Oh! Ah, those spawn props by the looks of it, so you can toss them at things. Yeah, alright. So, short and sweet, this one. Pretty simple. Does what it does. But I like it. Okay. So, that's that then. The last map we've got to showcase today then is Weapons Check by Astro. Let's have a quick fire round of questions. Things are between maps here. Is Amicus back? Are you back? No. Okay, RZ, do you want to pick out a question or two for me to answer, and then we'll go right into Weapons Check?
Yeah, sure. Let me find a few. Oh yeah, we have the MW19. We're gonna use it maybe in the next stream.
I'm back.
All good?
Yeah, I'm reading the questions now, Amicus.
No! Go on, RZ.
No. Oh, okay. I actually read it, heard it, but MW19 muzzle flash mod. The guy asked if we're gonna use it next. Maybe
perhaps in the next stream. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We'll do more of these as more maps come out from the community, as more people release them. You know, I think it'd be fun to cover people's stuff more often.
Right, and I see it's a repeat question as well. When is the next update for Division 3? I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but you can go ahead, Kralik.
like middle of the year at some point.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
That'll be our first full Div 3 devlog. We do have something planned between now and then to tide people over as well.
Right, and I think that is it. Probably. Yeah. If I missed, sorry about that.
That's fine. Right, let's barrel off into a weapons check then by Astro. Alright. SMG pistol. Astro, so feel free to just talk about this map as we go through it.
Alright, so this portion right here is kind of inspired by the Antline Guardian encounter for the original Half-Life 2 Nova Prospect area, but I didn't entirely want to completely copy it, so it's more of a unique design rather than anything.
Hang on, my throws are really bad. Sorry.
You might want to look to your left, like the left side of the force field.
Oh, I meant to throw it there. Right. Okay. I thought I was going to throw it at that one there. Okay. I see.
Yeah. I was concerned about people getting confused in this portion, but whatever you can do.
All right. More SMG ammo. Old health charger. All
Yeah,
right.
those were put there in case, you hurt yourself like you did there.
I'm curious why you used this health charger instead of our one.
That's the model that showed up when I put the entity down.
Interesting. I don't know why that's. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we do have the model in the files, but specifically in this color, I don't think so. I don't think I ever saw it.
Interesting. Also got shockwave pop here. Use of some female cops, good. I don't know if that was randomized, if you ticked that on deliberately or not.
Might have. I can't remember. I made this so long ago. I can't remember much of this.
No worries.
Yep.
But yeah, female cops can be randomized or turned on by default, either or. SMG ammo, nice. Obviously, we plan to make different variants of the ammo crate, this one here that we're currently using. We plan to make different variants for different weapons.
Back in that room, there's a little secret.
Oh, I see.
If you can see it. It's a little hidden away.
Nice. Oh wait, was that the secret or no?
Yeah, it was a secret.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, okay, in that case. I see, okay. That's fine. All good. Now I can have another shot at doing this without screwing up my throws. I think the concept of this falling over is really interesting.
Yeah. It was more to just allow it to feel more impactful than anything. Did you miss the shotgun back there?
Maybe. Oh yeah, there it is. Nice. Okay. Hang on. I have the old gravity gun. Nice.
Yeah, I allowed you to have two different approaches there, either the boxes or the ladder.
Yeah, I think the ladder thing there is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. First time I'm actually seeing a ladder being placed and utilized. Something very underappreciated.
Very good puzzle.
This combine stuff here is pretty cool. So we're kind of reaching out from here.
So it's the sort of ease the transition of what the level is gonna look like.
Nice. Nice, there's a little wasteland map as
that's
well.
what I'm seeing. Yeah.
Got a couple of wasteland adventures now. To dig through for whilst people wait for Div 3. Oh, let's get out of there before that container starts shooting at me. Interesting using the ultimate skin as well. Well, hang on a minute. I don't think that's our GR9. That's interesting. Is that R1? I don't think that's R1. Maybe it is. I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't think that's R1.
I have no clue. I just used whatever was there.
Might be interesting. Yeah, maybe one of the other entries used some custom models or something. I don't know actually. I don't recall. Interesting. All right. Okay. Let's head up here instead. These things. Oh, I've come around in a big circle. Enough out of you. Must be a way to get up here somewhere. Jump across for some
There is.
the containers.
You might want to double back and.
Oh, I see.
There's a little weapon stash there that might help you.
Nice.
Oh, that might change things. Because the original weapon there is supposed to be the AK, the base RTV AK. So
I don't think this one's more powerful. I think it fires faster, but I don't think it does more damage.
Colic, apologies, but I will rejoin in maybe 20 minutes, okay? I have to go for a sec, right?
Sure. I mean, we might be done by then after. It depends how long weapons check is, because this is our last one, so.
Alright, I'll see if I'll make it. Anyway, bye-bye.
Sure. See you, Ozzy. Nice, got ourselves a little train depot area. You see, so activated the button up there.
Yep. This 3D skywalk's is a little strange. Like, I had there's actually two there's two right on top of each other, and I had to activate different skyboxes. It's a little weird, but it worked. Again.
Oh, that fella's in there.
No, the creeper got stuck. Oh god.
He's not coming out with us today. I think I can remove this door. There we go. So then I have to fight him. I hope this guy doesn't crash through We've had a pretty good track record so far. Yep, he's alright. Alrighty. This mean we're ready to get on the train? I don't think so. Okay, let's head up here. Those guys are dead and gone.
The cremator was the one condition.
Oh, that.
So
Oh,
my-
okay. So that's the end of the map then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if the sound was loud enough or not with the door opening.
Oh no, fair enough. So are you then meant to go through here?
No, other side of the train.
Oh right. Okay, my bad.
Yeah. It's my bad for not making it more obvious.
No, it's all good.
Oversight.
Ah, this side here. I see it.
Yeah. I can understand how you messed it.
Yeah, that's right. And there we
I
go.
wish there was I wish there was more time for refinement though, because this map gave me a bit of an issue when I was compiling it. It just crashed without warning whenever I tried to load it up.
Yeah, no worries. Alright, well, that was weapons check by Astro. Pretty cool. Well, thank you, Astro, for that as well. And that is all of our maps for now. So let's answer some questions and then we'll, I suppose, call this stream. I know it's been a slightly shorter stream than what we tend to do, but, well, I say slightly shorter, still an hour and a half, but that is short by our standards. So let's answer a couple questions and then we'll call it there, I think.
Okay, so we have, will the mutated head crabs on Gnomes ever be its own NPC?
No. The idea we're running with the mutated head crabs is by the time they get to that point on the Gnome, they're basically fused to the Gnome. And obviously with the shooting of normal zombies, the head crab's not fused there yet. It's using that body as a host. But once you get to Gnome stage, it's eaten so much and it's, you know, grown so much into its host that it can't be removed from the host without its death. They kind of become one. And then at that point, you know, maybe they become a Gonarch. You know, we haven't got some specific lore written down for what becomes of a Gnome, because it's kind of a difficult question, but yeah. Won't be a separate NPC. Next.
When will we first fight the Combine super soldiers?
I assume you mean the bipedal strider-looking fellows.
Yeah, they said they followed up with the ones with the antenna on their head.
Yeah. We'd like to do them. We don't have a specific plan for where they're going to be right now. Might be a Street Wars thing. Might be sooner. It's still in the planning stages, really. Next.
Will you guys push the engine to the limits graphics-wise, like using AI upscale textures? Keep up the good work.
We already do push the engine to the limits as far as graphics are concerned. Anyone who worked on Quarry Town can tell you that pretty clearly. AI upscaling is not really required. It's we model most of our stuff from scratch. And even if we don't model it from scratch, we tend to make textures from scratch in something like Substance Painter, even if we're remastering an existing asset. So AI upscaling is something that's kind of better done with mods that have a more retail adjacent quality of visuals. So for example, when I did assets on NGP02, I did use AI upscaling quite a lot, because we wanted to be adjacent to Half-Life 2 in quality, maybe slightly better for newer assets. So I sometimes use AI upscaling. On RTBR, we just make new assets from scratch. So not something we tend to run into. Next one.
When will the next community stream be?
I don't have a specific answer for that one, because this one was kind of like, I just knew that a few people were working on stuff. Like Dimitron was working on his map, and Eeny Meeny was working on one, and I kind of got the idea when I first saw Astro's map, and I went, people are actually making maps now. Okay, this might be worth a stream. And then as more maps started getting made, I was like, okay, let's definitely do a stream, I think. But I would want to stream new stuff. I would want to do another community content stream when there was more stuff to stream, or cover things that we didn't cover in this one. So, for example, I mentioned at the very start, before we started, whilst we were talking in the pre-stream chat room, that we didn't cover unknown players Div 1.2 cop texture for the standard cops, and I think for the elite cops, I think it's just for normal cops, because that would have conflicted with Shockwave's pack. So I used Shockwave's pack. But for example, in a follow-up stream, I would probably use unknown players cop stuff instead. If Cassie blesses us with another weapon replacement, maybe we'll use that as well, and hopefully that'll be present in a map somewhere. And
Hopefully I can, yeah.
absolutely. And there's obviously particle effects, and obviously any new map that someone makes, new retextures, whatever. So, I know what Teddy Saw is working on. Teddy Saw is working on a sort of remake of Half-Life 2's retail canals to be R2BR oriented instead. I don't know if he's got plans to do even more Half-Life 2 retail adjustments than that, but I'm conscious of that. I know it's also quite big in scale and might justify a stream on its own. But I would like to cover a few things from multiple creators in such a stream at once. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. It really depends on what gets submitted and when. But I've really enjoyed playing everybody's maps right now. I've really enjoyed trying out Cassie's weapons and the reskins and everything. It's been really cool, not only just to see, more mod content, because I love mods and modding, but also to see mods for, my mod, right? As someone who was inspired in the past by people like Breadman, and the great mods of yesteryear to create my own and to do a contribution here. It is really humbling to see people give enough of a crap about what I'm doing to actually inspire them to create as well. That is very humbling. All of us on RTBR are incredibly just excited by the concept of people making stuff for our mod, and that's, yeah. So, I think that about answers that question pretty well, plus a couple extra. Let's do 2 more, and then I guess we'll call it there.
Okay. Let me pick a couple out of these then. I've got 5 total. For Div 3 or 4, are you planning a lighthouse point location?
For Div 4, yes. The end of Div 4 will be finished up by a lighthouse point holdout.
Okay. And then will you replace the dropship with the old beta original dropship NPC model?
We will do at some point. We basically conceptualize the smaller, the reddish dropship from the beta as being basically a troop transport, and then the retail dropship as being one that would carry the big, like, containers and striders and stuff. So we actually plan to do both, the beta one and the retail one, and we plan to give them those kinds of roles. It remains to be seen if it will actually turn out that way, but that's what we're currently thinking. Actually, let's tell you what, we'll do a couple more, but before I do that, I want to open up the fan art and stream the fan art. I think that'd be nice. Whilst we're doing this, which is mostly the best hits of Teddy Saw, to be honest, at this point. But it's fine by me. I'm sure it's fine by him. Let me... No, it's not what I want. Is it this one? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Alright, I think we should now be streaming fan art. Right, okay, yeah, let's keep answering questions whilst I'm streaming the fan art, why not?
Okay. There's a couple more coming in, so. Will you guys add Easter eggs for the fans to find?
Yes, I mean, we've already got Easter eggs in a lot of weapons. We have secret weapons in Division 1 and Division 2. So, yeah, we plan to have Easter eggs. We have more as well. Some found, some that other people haven't found yet. So, yeah.
All right. And we kind of answered half of this question earlier, but there's a little bit more. Will the stalkers look like their original beta appearances and behavior?
Yeah, we kind of answered this already. As a sort of, we're planning maybe to have two variants. One that's kind of closer to the beta one and is more of a combat variant, and one that's closer to retail. Right now, we are designing around maybe having this, but we're prioritizing first designing around having them in combat. So we will be prioritizing combat stalkers, that's a given. And those stalkers will be very similar to their beta counterpart. The retail stalkers, for maintenance use instead of anything else, they may be added, they may not. But these combat stalkers are already a thing. So, yeah.
All right. We have... will there be a Wasteland scanner in-game?
Yes. We already have a GIB model in Eli Den, which is being used for one of the lanterns. We haven't revealed the Wasteland scanner yet because we're still working out its function. But yes.
Okay. And any Zen creatures from Half-Life 2 concept art you will put in the game?
Well, we've got Bull Squids, Hound Eyes. Those two are both cut. We are also thinking about additions to the rest, like various types of fauna and plant life, which of course we've brought back from Half-Life 1 or will be bringing back from the concept art, as well as new enemies that are not strictly speaking aligned with the Combine, but are creatures. We'll have to see how those turn out.
Yeah, this project is pretty heavily based on the concept art, so
yeah, we're taking more emphasis from concept art than just basic Half-Life 2, because we have the capability and the means to bring concept art to life, animate it, models, so that's kind of our priority on that one.
All right. With the new leak, we have animations and models for Destructible Combine Soldier, huge robot cyborg guys. Will that be in RTBR?
We are planning to implement Combine Guards, and we are planning for them to function much like how they do, or how they appear to function as per the leak code. I think the idea of a destructible enemy is pretty interesting, and we are working on that. That's something we're currently thinking might materialize in Division 4.
And the last one we've got here so far. Will the Hydra appear in the game?
Yes, we are planning Division 5 for the Hydra. It will be kind of the environmental hazard enemy of that chapter. If you think of barnacles in the non-cold areas, Hydras will kind of serve a similar role in that they will be there to punish the player for not being aware of their surroundings, basically. We don't intend to make a whole set piece around them, but we do intend to use them as a way to ward players away from just kind of running into places. Okay, I think that's enough questions anyway, and we'll be back at some point on another stream sometime. So if you have more questions, save them, or feel free to ask them on our public Discord. Otherwise, I think that's all we'll do for now. We had a great turnout today for this stream. I'm pleasantly surprised at how many people came along. Yeah, so I appreciate everyone who came along today, everyone who came to watch the creations of your fellow fans of RTBR. Special thank you then to Astro, Cassie, Danscart, Dimitron, Inimini, Shockwave, and then also Moostar and Zwert, who knows how to say it, I don't, for their content that we showcased as part of this stream. You guys are awesome. Modding is all about creativity, and to have known we inspired others to be creative. This is why we do what we do. So thank you guys so much for your contributions. I hope to see more from all of you in the future.
Yeah, it is really, really cool to see.
All
right,
everybody.
Thank you.
All right, well,
Goodbye, everyone.
That about covers it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next RTBR stream or video. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.